Morning. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at some example problems for harder log and exponentials. So we're going to be doing some mixed, exponential, and log solving. So we're going to do two examples and they're both going to be like on the harder side just so you can see the process of all of it. So our first example, say we have a logarithm and we have 3 times log base 2 of x minus 1 equals 6. So there's a whole lot going on here. So the first step we want to do for this is normally we rewrite, but for here, step 1 is going to be to isolate the log. And what I mean by that is because we have a whole bunch of stuff over here, we only want whatever the log has. So we want to get that alone. So to get this alone, that'll be the first step. Then step 2 will be to rewrite and solve. So what we've been doing this entire time. So let's actually do this. So I have 3 times my log base 2 of x minus 1 equals 6. So I know that the log starts here and it ends where these parentheses end. So this is still part of your log, so you want this part as well. So the first thing I need to get rid of is this 3. And I notice that my 3 is multiplying. So to get rid of that 3, I want to do the opposite, which is divide. So I divide both sides by 3. So now I have log base 2 of x minus 1 equals 2. So our log is now isolated because all of this part is our log. So now we go to step 2 where we rewrite and solve. So whenever we rewrite, we always want to think, okay, this is in log form, so it needs to become exponential. So I know it's log, it needs to become exponential. So like we learned, I find my base is on my bottom, and I want to move it to the other side. Because we're changing it from log to exponential, my log will fall. So all that's left on this side, so the log disappears, I'm moving my 2, so I have x minus 1 left on this side. Then my base stays my base, so it becomes my bottom. And then whatever was left over here becomes my exponent. And from here, you want to go back to algebra and solve. So first, I'm going to simplify this. So I keep my x minus 1, and 2 squared would give me 4. Now I solve for x. So I want to add 1 to both sides, and x equals 5. So it may look like a super complicated problem, but to solve it, we're using all of the knowledge we've been learning this week, plus the stuff from algebra. So we're isolating variables, we're isolating things, we're rewriting. So that's with logs. You do the same thing with exponentials. So say for our exponential, we had 63 equals 2 to the x minus 6 plus 7. So we're going to follow the same steps. So follow the same steps. So the step 1 is going to be to isolate, but instead of isolating the log, we're going to do everything with our exponent instead of our log. So I have my 63 equals 2 raised to the x minus 6 plus 7. So my exponential, so it starts at 2, and it goes to where my parentheses end here, because that's the end of that exponent. So we want to get this part in red alone, which means we need to get rid of the 7. So to get rid of this 7, I need to subtract it from both sides of my equation. So 63 minus 7 will give me 56, and it equals 2 to the x minus 6. Now we do what we've been doing this rest of the week. We change it into the other form. So this is an exponential form right now. So our next form we want to change it into is our log form. And we do the same thing. So I need to find my base. My base is at the bottom of my exponent, so it's 2. And I want to move it to my other side. So I'm going to rewrite. I know there needs to be a log now because I'm rewriting as a log. My base stays my base, so it's that bottom small number. And then 56 is what's on this side. And it equals, so what's left on this side after I move it? I have x minus 6. Now we're combining what we learned about with change of base, because this is what we have so far. So remember change of base, your base stays at the bottom. So I have log of 56 divided by log of 2. And it's going to equal x minus 6. So let's put this in our calculator. So for our calculator, I'm going to show you how I'm doing it with the Google calculator. So I had log, so I'm going to press log of 56. Then I'm going to close my parenthesis, that's super, super important, divided by log of 2. And I close my parenthesis again, then I press equal. Remember, we only want 3 decimal places. So we would have 5.807. And because this is a 3, this stays as a 7. So let's go back and let's write that down. So we have, what was it? 5.807 is what we got when we put that into our calculator. And it equals x minus 6. Well, now we're just way back at algebra again. So I want to solve for x. So I add 6 to both sides. And I would end up with 11.807 equals x. So again, these look like they're super, super complicated problems. But once you go and you look at them step by step, they become easier because these are all the things we've practiced so far. So we're going to play bingo now, so get excited. And if you're watching this and you didn't come to class, be sad that you didn't get to play bingo. All right, so let's go.